Well, I mean, not live, but like recording. Currently recording. Not live.
I got you.
So, welcome to the Tip to Tip podcast. We are at a different location today. We are at, what is it, the Poorhouse?
Poorhouse. Grant's Poorhouse.
So, this is my dad. And I told him we'd record at his bar because he built this bar. It took him 32 months. And he hasn't had anybody here since. So if I put it on the internet, then people get to see it. So what made you want to build this bar?
So, for years, and I think you guys know this, right? I collected glasses, shot glasses, all kinds of stuff. When I built my bar, I was going to be all set to go. Then, when I resigned myself to not wanting to, not that I didn't want to, but not building the bar, then what happened was I sold all the glasses off on Facebook for like $20. I sold all these glasses I collected from the Lizard.
Yeah, you had glasses from the time we moved in, which was, what, 20 years ago?
Oh, it was a long time.
Yeah.
So we had a flood down there, and we had a...
This was an insurance fraud, just so everybody's clear.
No, what I would say is it was a minor insurance
Claim, yes.
on it. But I decided, I said, it's once in a lifetime. I have a little insurance money to help. So I decided to build exactly what I wanted.
Now, I'll take a video before I leave and put it at the end of the podcast so everybody can see the whole integrity of the bar and the keno machine and everything else you built. So how long did it really take?
I would say...
Because it felt like 32 months.
Almost a year for us to come together. And if I can call out my good friend Jim, who helped, Washbush, who helped incredibly to build like the framework and the stuff like that, and to hang with me for my vision. We were able to build a bar exactly the way I wanted it, which is...
This is actually better than your vision.
Well, the thing is I wanted a wood type, bar that had an old feel to it. I wanted a live edge type thing.
Yeah.
So
Tell people why I'm your favorite son. Let's do that.
My favorite, because you're my only son?
Oh, wait. That's true. All right, back to the bar. Back to the bar. That's right.
So, you know what? I was inspired by a lot of different things. One of them was, if any of you have gone to Ground Zero.
Ground Zero, we had Haley on here. We shouted her out and shouted them out.
Ground Zero's great. Kevin, the owner there, is awesome.
I'm going to get him on here one day.
Since the day that we opened, I had talked to Kevin about different recipes and smoking and things like that and grill work. And he had a live edge bar that I really enjoyed. So,
which I'm pretty sure he made from scratch as well.
He did. And you might not see this here, but this is a live edge bar. And when I ended up finishing it, I took the bar and I did it in a poly. I have not epoxied it yet. Part of this is being married. Part of this is being your wife going, oh my God, this looks so good. Don't put the plastic stuff on it.
It does look good, though.
It does. It came out really good. And you know what? We'll see. But in the middle of winter, you don't want to epoxy because you need to open the windows and ventilate and everything like that. So if I decide to epoxy this top, I'll do it then.
So if you did it right now, you get like super high from the epoxy?
Well, I don't know if I get high, but
something?
I might pass out.
If you want to try that, shoot us an email.
Yeah.
We'll get you'll die in the basement.
This is interesting.
The two things in the middle? The quarters or the coins?
Two things. There's a dime.
Was that Princess Diana?
And I think a nickel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So while I was sitting here, every night when we finished working down here, we would there was so much to do. It was unbelievable. Like Jim and I would sit down here, and I had the keg down here at the time, so we would have a couple of things and a couple of beers. And the final day, when Jim came down and we finished the last couple of details, time to pay up the final bill.
So you paid him in change?
So, no. But when I gave him the money, I handed it to him. And he said, "What the fuck is this, my tip?" And 15 cents was caught in
the
bills.
bills.
So I said, no. The funny part is there was a tip and all that. But when he said that, he goes, "You need to put that right here. You need to ingrain it." So the funny part is the next, I don't know, like day or two, I took the router, I routed out the exact depth of each coin, and I put it in there to always remember that, whether it's 15% or 15 cents or whatever it is, there is extra when you appreciate the work
That was done.
people helped you do. So I put it right in the bar. It's right there. So whenever Jim comes over, he's going to see that, and he's going to know that's all about him.
Nice. So what? So we moved in here 20 years ago, probably.
We moved in 20 years ago.
20 years ago, and
Roughly.
the first thing you said when we moved in, I remember I was 14, maybe 13, 14, probably.
Well,
I was going into high school.
high school, 9th grade.
So yeah, 13,
It would
14.
have been, no, 15 or 16.
15. So I remember the first thing you said was you were going to build a bar down here.
Yeah.
And that's when you started collecting the glasses. And we used to make fun of you all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, Dad's got more glasses for his bar that he's never going to build.
I had so many glasses. I joined the tour, and then every time I went to the Lizard, I ordered the glass of the month. So it cost me whatever, $100 more, so I could get a glass. But
So was it like your childhood dream to have a bar? Like kids want to be firefighters and...
not a childhood dream, but you know what? I always knew I wanted to have a bar where I could relax and bullshit with friends and have a good time. And the problem is when we first moved in, we had a great rec room. You
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
It was a great rec room.
That's part of the reason you bought the house is because of the basement.
100%. Yeah, the people who did this and finished this before did a great job. It was perfect for kids, but at the same time, and you guys did get your use out of it.
Yeah.
If you go from 9th grade to 12th grade, you can imagine what this frickin' place looked like.
Yeah, well, Megan only being 3 years younger than me. And then I lived down here for a little while.
No.
Yeah, that was a good time.
The space is great. The finish was great. The walls were great. Everything was good. But, it didn't really have a theme. It was just, a good rec room. But
Yeah, it wasn't really like colorful, or it was just white and like brownish carpet, kind of. Nothing
Yeah.
really to...
it was. It's not even the colors or anything else. It was the point was this was not an adult space. This was a space for kids. And you guys abused it like
Yeah, we were good.
anybody could.
There used to be a little cupboard over there. I'd hide my condoms and my beer in it.
Cupboard.
Little, I don't know what it was, little hole to get to the pipe.
Ugh.
Then I put my condoms and my beer in
as
there.
I did this remodel, we found the bucket you pissed in.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too.
We found the beers you hid in places as I was ripping apart
Yeah.
everything.
There's a place over there, too, I hid beer.
But if you saw the place now, it's so much different.
It doesn't look the same basement at all.
We took walls down. We literally changed the shape of the basement. We have a wood type theme where it really... Karen Grant's mom
Yeah, she hates it.
had somebody come in and say, "This is nicer than any commercial bar I've been in."
Yeah, it's nice down here.
And it is pretty cool. And, I mean, it did come out good. I had a specific vision, and not at all times did the people working with me see that vision, but they continued the course and let it play out. And it is pretty cool. So we have the bar on this side, and then on the other side we have a theater.
Yeah, big
which
TV,
is
recliners.
unbelievable. The theater is so cool. And when you sit down here and watch a movie, you'll feel like you're in a theater. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time. And now that you guys are adults, we can enjoy this together.
Yeah, we're
as
not
adults.
destroying it
And yeah, you're
anymore.
not pissing in buckets in my.
We still need a bathroom down here. I mean, I would still piss in a bucket, I think.
No.
What
Please, no.
so what was I gonna say? So when you started building it, we were leaking, right? There was a leak. And that's what started the.
Like, what happened was the condensate from the air conditioning blocked, and it overspilled. And we didn't come down here very much after you guys got older.
Yeah, I mean it was still leaking. I think when I lived down here, but it was just a little bit. It was just in that back. I think it's always leaked a little in that back room, the storage room.
Well, you know what? The thing is when you guys were older, nobody came down here anymore. So we didn't come down for a month. So what happened was the condensate drain blocked and it overflowed and it leaked and nobody came down here and noticed until it was way too late. It was
Everything was destroyed.
It was pretty bad. Yeah, and it wasn't that it was deep; it was the humidity.
It stunk. It smelled. It was sticky and goopy.
It was the ceiling tiles were all roached. And I don't know if you can see that on your video or not, but
yeah, I don't know.
We replaced all the ceiling tiles.
Yeah,
it's all the lighting. We have light panels, and it's much different.
So, how did you decide what beer to get in your keg?
Good question.
Actually, before you answer that, are you happy you did the bar before the tariffs or after the tariffs from Donald Trump?
Tariffs. I mean, it's an interesting subject because I own a business, and these tariffs are hurting me. There's no doubt they're hurting me.
Especially because you have stuff coming from Canada.
My two biggest manufacturers that I represent are from Canada and Mexico. So, a big problem with that is, as you look at it, for me, it's a problem. And I hope Trump sees that because everything that comes into this country is typically sold by somebody else. So that somebody else makes a living on selling those products. Well, some of my competitive products are American products.
So it's easier for them.
It's easier for them. And they have an advantage. And when he shoots out numbers like 25, 50%, it's like, okay, I have a 50% disadvantage in a similar product. I can justify why you should work with me, but how do I justify that much?
Yeah.
But I think long term, what I have to do is and I hope this makes sense. It's going to cost me money short term. There's no doubt. But what's best for America, if the companies I represent were to move here, start making their product here, we'll freaking kill it.
So you think that's his end game is to get more companies come back to America?
Of course.
It is his end game.
I think to come here. The thing is, there's short-term and there's long-term balance to that.
Yeah.
So the short-term balance
is killing everybody.
The car industry, Ford has plants here.
Yeah.
Ford has plants in Canada. Ford has plants in Mexico.
So they're good.
Well, what they're going to do is they'll stop the production in Canada and Mexico. They'll start producing here because there's no tariff to compete. But the bottom line is when they do that, they'll probably be at an advantage. Now, when you look at companies like me and other companies like that, you represent a product that it would take years for them to actually move and open a facility here. That hurts me more, but the big picture, I think he's on course.
Do you think the Democrats try to assassinate him?
I'm going to say no. Only because I believe in good human morality.
Benefit of the doubt. We like that on the podcast.
I think if you were willing to go that far, there's something sickly wrong with our.
Do you think he thought at first they tried to kill him, then he got in president and seen like the the files and stuff. I was like, okay, maybe it wasn't as elaborate as I had thought. Because there's no doubt people wanted him dead. I mean, they still want him dead.
Well, somebody wants him dead.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, anybody.
Whether it's the Democrats or somebody in power wants him dead.
I hope it's not
Our country.
I hope it's not anybody in power.
I don't know. But did you see Kid Rock in the White House?
I did.
Do you think he was better dressed or Zelensky was better dressed?
No. That's a tough one.
Kid Rock's was at least a suit of some sort.
I think Kid Rock dressed appropriately for who he is.
And I think what he was doing.
But I think what Zelensky did not dress for who he's supposed to be.
No, you're supposed to dress for the job you want.
Right.
And he just thought he was going to keep getting handouts and money.
Yeah,
and,
I'm not a Zelensky fan.
yeah. I didn't mind him too much at first, but then it was like, but again, if you know you're going to keep getting fed, you're going to keep going there to eat. Is how I feel, and I think that was his mindset, and now he knows dinner's off the table.
Yeah.
So
he seemed like, at least during the Biden term, anytime he showed up here, he left with the bag of money.
yeah, and he was very victim. You know, we're not that they're not, but he was very good at playing that, I think.
Yeah.
And now that Trump kind of called him out on it, he said, "Well, I'll risk everything if I got to go against Putin alone." It's like, oh, okay, so how much does your country mean to you then? If you're willing to just...
Yeah, it's tough, you know, in this atmosphere that we're in. If you disagree with anything, then you fucking hate somebody.
Yeah, you're always wrong no matter what you do.
And I don't. I don't hate people. I don't think most people do.
No, and I think that's
just
why...
'cause we disagree doesn't mean I hate you
Right.
or I hate your idea. But you know, if I'm to say Zelensky's evil, Trump's the greatest, then I'm some kind of
MAGA, yeah.
fucking weird guy.
I think I said that to somebody today. I said, I don't even know anymore now that Trump's in office and everything, if I'm even Republican. I just know what I like and what I stand up for.
Yeah.
And that's kind of all I can do because, I mean, quite frankly, everything sucks right now.
Well, you know, the way I raised you guys was to believe in what you believe in and don't be afraid to say you believe in it.
Yeah.
Right? And I still believe that. But I think you have to be careful politically. People wonder why there's this silence, and then out of nowhere there's this big
Uproar
win for Republicans that nobody seemed to see coming. Well, it's because you get tired of defending yourself. Okay, so I might not agree religiously or morally or the way I was brought up with everything that happens in life. But that doesn't mean I hate those people.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. It's like the her body, her choice thing. If first of all, I don't have an opinion about it because I'm not female. I don't friggin' know.
That's a tough one.
But also, I just choose not to comment because again, it's not my.
There you go.
I don't get put in that position. I'm not in that position.
You choose not to comment because if you comment, if you say, "Hey, I understand both sides,"
Yeah.
you're getting level. If you say, "I understand one side or the other," you're getting level.
Yeah, I just say I'm not a woman, so I don't know what it's like.
And just vote.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
all you
think
can
that's
do.
what we saw.
And majority of the people that bitch don't even vote is the problem. That's the big issue, I think. This election they did, I think.
More people are voting than probably ever before. But the problem is you know, we say, it's so hard because Grant, you know, when I went back, go back to our Garfield Light stage.
Yeah.
Right. I felt like I wanted to help my community, and when I did do that and want to be involved with my community, what did I do? I got
involved.
With council meetings. I spoke up.
Well, that's the problem now. Everybody just wants to bitch, when nobody wants to do anything about it. Is the problem.
That's part of the problem, but it's because what's worked politically is to shut somebody down or shame them.
Yeah.
Now, while I got in good heated arguments in those times, nobody shamed me for having a position. If you have a position today, they want to shame you.
Yeah, if you go back in political history, the two parties, first of all, the debates were much more about the issues and not about you're an idiot or I'm an idiot, you know, and they were much more respectable. They seen each other, they talked, they'd have a drink together. It wasn't like they were enemies because they were on different parties.
Oh, we could be enemies.
Yeah.
I mean, when I go back to...
But I mean, if you go back in history to the presidents like that, there was a lot of kind of, we might have different views, but we're fighting for the same country.
You know, a lot of people will never understand politics.
Yeah, I don't.
Let me give you an example. I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
When I was stood up in Garfield Heights, and I stood up against certain things, and you guys were very little.
Yeah.
Right? But these were big political forces. Jimmy DeMora.
Yeah.
Everybody knows, you know, Jimmy DeMora just got out of jail. He's not healthy, whatever.
We got pardoned.
Right.
Shout out Biden.
But Jimmy, and I knew Jimmy, and I knew a lot of the other big politicians when I was helping in some of the political movements. But there's a big difference between then and now. You know?
Well, things have times have changed.
What party do you think I was in then?
Democratic.
I was in the Democratic Party.
Well, a lot of people switched from recently because the Democrats just seem to not.
It's nothing to do with that. I was in the Democratic Party because they were the ones with the money.
No, it's all about the money.
It is all about the money.
It's all about the money.
You have to stop and think about this. A lot of the people that I supported had very much conservative values. But the conservatives didn't have the money locally. This happens all over the nation. Locally, the money is all filtered down to the party, to the Liberal Party. So you say you're a liberal, even though you have conservative values, you get elected, and then you insert your
views and what you want done.
Right.
Well, that's the problem with saying you're one way or the other. Like, if I were to say I'm Republican, I don't agree with everything Trump believes or says.
Absolutely not.
And there's things I agree with. Like, somebody was talking about, they're like, oh, what about Obama? I said, there's actually a lot of things Obama did that I thought were pretty good.
Sure.
I said, but that doesn't mean...
Obama, let me say this, and I'll say it on the record. Obama was the last president we have that spoke intelligently.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And you know what? People have to admit that.
Well, I
What's
think
wrong with admitting that.
Right, and I think that's why he was
spoken. He was well spoken. He knew what to say when he was in front of a crowd.
I think that goes in everything, though. Like, if you look at The Rock, for example, he went from being this bonehead WWE guy, because that's what you'd think he is. You listen to The Rock talk now, he is well-spoken, well-mannered, and that's why he owns 37 companies and should be our next president.
It's important. It's important. And you have to give Barack Obama credit for that.
Yeah.
You have to.
You wanted to listen to him.
The displays was amazing. It really was. And you know what? Policy-wise, there were some things like Obamacare and things like that I vehemently opposed.
Yeah.
But you know what? I appreciated the fact that our country was represented by somebody who seemed intelligent, knew what to say.
And he wanted what was best. Even if I didn't agree with it, it felt like he wanted what was best.
Yeah.
Is how it felt.
I mean, people need to give him credit because he made the United States look good. Policy-wise, no. I would fight him left and right on some of his policies.
Yeah.
But we've gotten away from all that. What's important to us now politically is that I hate you, you hate me.
Exactly.
And we fight that out. And we forget what's important, which is the middle.
And we all live in the same place. People seem to forget that we're all in America.
For America to work, you have to be a little bit
of both.
Left or right of middle.
Yeah.
You can't be way left or way right. But I do have in my heart, I think that most people are close to center. But like you said, to start that whole political thing was, you know what, I think we are. But we shut up.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's all we can do now.
Because I don't want to argue anymore. No,
that's what I'm saying. You know, we're so saturated with things in the media and stuff that I don't I don't even check anymore. I don't even watch because there's so much out there. And on top of that, I'm just going to get depressed and bummed out.
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah, the hate that controls that part ends up turning into...
We're in the middle of a podcast. Just so you know.
You, come on. Join us.
Right now. Yeah, you're going to be on camera, I think. Yeah, you're right there.
No, come on in.
Hi, Bear. So...
Here's the problem. That said, is it good for the sport that a boy all of a sudden at 17 years old wants to play girls volleyball?
No, but that's different.
It's so different.
Yeah, that's different.
So I've got a 17-year-old girl who started with me when she was 12, worked her butt off to try to get a scholarship, and all of a sudden this boy walks in at 17 who is naturally gifted biologically with talents that girls can't have.
Yeah.
And he gets the scholarship.
But what about
I want to murder someone.
Yeah, but what about the what about the Nordonia wrestler that's a girl? They just beat out all those guys and is going to state.
That's different.
Why is that different?
Okay. So here we go.
Because there's not women's wrestling?
No. When a girl plays up.
Yeah.
Boys,
oh, she's proving she's got...
a big difference. It's rare that she can possibly compete.
I don't know who that girl is, but she kicks fucking ass.
But when she does, it's something that should be commended. Because she doesn't have the testosterone. She wasn't born with the physical attributes.
Oh, so it's like...
that an athlete was.
It's like me beating up a handicapped person.
Yeah, no. Look
There's
at it
no...
this way. You're 13, I'm 17.
Yeah.
Would you be able to compete with me just because of age?
Oh,
That's the discrimination is age.
maybe.
No chance.
I would beat up a 13-year-old.
But,
Yeah, but wait a second. Freshmen compete with seniors, and that's about the same age. 14 and 17, 18.
No. There's such a difference. If you coach, you know this. Between 13, 14, and 18, there's a big...
Well, I'm just saying, I would beat up a 15-year-old for street cred.
But you're looking at a girl versus a boy. If a girl can play up and chooses to do that, I'm going to defend these girls until I die.
Yeah, I think...
I don't have one daughter. I have 4,000 daughters.
Yeah, I'm not one of them, just so we're clear for all you assholes that think that.
Yeah, no, you're not.
So...
But you've seen it.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on from that. I got a little too serious. What about Love on the Spectrum you start watching?
Oh. You gotta bring that up.
Yeah. Isn't
So-
your boy Tanner is your favorite?
Tanner is not my favorite. At all. Actually, he drives me nuts. I don't know who watches that show, but...
So many people.
My favorites are the guy... I don't know his name, but the guy who acts kind of British.
Yeah, well, shoot, I seen him. I was watching him today, and I was like, I forgot about him. Is it Daniel?
Maybe.
He was mad about his mom set him up with a blonde-haired girl and not a brunette, and he was like, why wouldn't you tell me? Yeah, he was all pissed off.
And his girlfriend, Rachel. I love those two. They're pretty awesome.
I think that show is fantastic. I think it's hilarious. Well, not hilarious, like hilarious in a good way.
It's pretty cool.
I think it's
I learned
cool.
a lot because what I saw in that show is the difference in autism.
Yeah, and there are,
Pretty
because,
severe stuff,
yeah.
and there's some pretty functional
And I'm
stuff.
sure there's probably worse than that show can show, because they can't be, obviously it's as bad to where they can't be on camera.
Have you seen the guy who relates every color to a number?
No, but I'm pretty sure there's a movie about that.
It's pretty cool. And his autistic girlfriend then got on board and learned that.
Yeah.
So when he would say a number, she would know he was saying purple.
Oh, and that's like the girl with the dolphins that loves the dolphins and relates them to everything. The boyfriend learned
If you think
things
about
dolphin do.
Yeah, if you think about it, these are very smart people
Yeah.
that actually just convert things differently.
Yeah.
And
I think
learned
it's...
a lot from the show.
I didn't realize there were different levels of autism. Yeah. What'd you think when I first started watching pro wrestling?
Well, made me interested. What did I think? So here's what I thought. I thought, you know what? I need to learn more about this. Because as a parent, the important part to me is that we could have something in common that I would understand. So I paid more attention. That's all.
Do you know how I started watching pro wrestling?
No.
I was in, shout out Mrs. Hastings. I was in her class with Tom. We were actually, it was, I think, a study period. So we were in the back room where we would do our work and stuff. She'd get us out of study hall. Or
If I have a cigarette.
no, you're good. We were in study hall or whatever the hell it was, but she'd get us out of it and let us hang out in her room. So Tom was watching it.
She got you out of
Yeah, so I would make fun of Tom every day for watching wrestling.
What's her name, Betsy?
Mrs. Hastings, Beverly,
What was her first? Beverly.
Beverly.
Beverly. You let my kid out of class?
Yeah, so I was making fun of Tom, and then I was like, you know what? I shouldn't. Something hit me, and I was like, man, I shouldn't make fun of him. That's not a good way to make friends. And we didn't have like a whole lot of, had like a core group of friends, and Tom was kind of like a new person. So I was like, I shouldn't make fun of him. I should watch it. So I watched it. I was like, okay, this is all right. This isn't that bad. I talked to him about it the next day. I told him I'd give it a shot. Gave it the benefit of the doubt. Talked to him about it the next day, and then I think he invited me over for actually, I know he invited me over for a pay-per-view, 2005 Royal Rumble. And then I was off to the races. I think then we had, then we watched SummerSlam at our house.
Old. He's old.
Yeah, 20-some years. Almost. So John Cena's retiring this year, and he's been wrestling 23 years. I've been watching 20 of the 23 years he's wrestled. So what do you think did you think that when I started watching wrestling, I would still be watching wrestling at 34 years old?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did. You had a passion for it. And I think as a parent, you have to want your kids to have a passion for something. It doesn't really matter what it is. You just want them to have a passion for something. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. I knew it was fake. And I will not name you.
Brother.
Oh, brother, big time. Hulk Hogan that imitated him in the hallways. And you know what? Back then, we thought that was pretty weird.
Well, you graduated the year of the first WrestleMania, 1985. That was the first WrestleMania.
It was a bigger thing than you thought. So there was a whole group of, I was a junior. Those guys were seniors, but they were into it big time. And I thought those were the weirdos in high school.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really understand it. And I knew it was scripted. Anybody who's ever watched it.
Well, it's anybody that doesn't watch it or anything. It's like, oh, it's fake. I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
But they don't realize everything's fake.
But those guys are great guys today.
Yeah.
Some of those guys that coach their daughters in volleyball later in life.
I think,
No, it didn't bother me at all. I was glad you had a passion in something, and I actually just bought today. A guy finally posted. I've been following for a month trying to find it. These little DV tapes. Well, DV's not made anymore. It's not beta. It's not VHS.
oh, yeah, those are the tapes we used to film the matches on. Yeah.
So I have this whole box full of these goddamn tapes.
Yeah, the wrestling ones, I bet.
I have nothing to play them on. I don't know what's on those tapes.
There's
And
gotta
I'm trying
be.
to preserve everything. So I've
Yeah.
been down here in the theater, which maybe you'll film before you leave. But down here in the theater, I've been trying to keep everything and preserve our stuff because the tapes don't last. Well, I finally found a guy on Facebook today
Selling something.
selling one and at a really good price. I'm going to say what it is. I'm not going to say who he is, but he should have charged a lot more because this it's hard to find mini DV tapes. So pretty soon I'll be able to watch those too.
So when
No, it didn't bother me.
So when we started, like at the time, wrestling wasn't really. When I started watching it, especially in my high school, like 06, 07, 08, it was not really big anymore. It was kind of like you were weird if you watched it. It wasn't. It lost its.
People who followed wrestling always thought everyone else thought it was weird.
Yeah.
But I
But
don't know.
I think it lost its energy. Like, now I think it's huge. I think it might be as big as it was in the 80s. It is huge now.
I think kids who follow it today probably go through the same scrutiny you do.
Yeah. I don't know. It's big now. I mean, it's like...
Yeah, you think?
Well, I know, because all the people that made fun of me in high school, their children now watch it.
Yeah.
So, no. But, so I think, and they're going to the shows and loving it. But I think, so at the time, like, backyard wrestling wasn't even up. Like, it was dangerous. You heard about it on the news. You don't do this at home. So when we started backyard wrestling, what did you guys think?
Well, I thought two things. I thought, one, this is pretty cool. There's an athleticism behind this.
I mean, we spent hours out there on the trampoline.
The fact that you took the time to kind of produce it, put it together, do the videos, you were way ahead of anybody.
Yeah, especially with the video. I go back and watch those. I sent those videos to somebody now that I'm friends with that didn't know me then, and they asked me who made the videos because they're good.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this kid is way ahead. So, for me, you found a passion. We can go into, if you want me to tell the story about baseball and...
Yeah, none of that works for me. None of that works for me. They know it. They watch the podcast.
It was... the story's funny, though. But it was... I think I told you when you said, Dad, I don't want to play baseball anymore at about 13.
One more year.
It was... the story's funny, though. But it was... I think I told you when you said, Dad, I don't want to play baseball anymore at about 13.
One more year, you said.
I said, no, I mean, my thing was, I don't care what it is. It could be chess club, but
Yeah.
find a passion.
Find something.
And you did. And you know what? You did it well. And when kids pour their heart into something, you were sitting at a computer, which you and I did together a lot in the beginning, but then you did it on your own. You took it to a whole other level. You were doing things that other kids had no clue what to do.
I produced a whole website.
That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Who cares if it's wrestling?
Well, I think so. There
Who
was...
cares if it's scripted? I mean,
There was like, it was very scripted. If you didn't follow my script, I was not fucking happy.
I'm sure.
Um,
Well, then there was you having a friend cut himself with a razor blade. Which in my backyard. Now I got a problem.
but our thing was always, like, there was the other group in Garfield, Tom, the one who got me into wrestling, bowling. Yep.
Yeah.
But like, there was a group in Garfield that was like hardcore. They hit each other with chairs. They lit tables on fire. But we wanted to do the opposite with our stuff. We liked the art of the wrestling. That's what our group was entertained by. That and the like the showman. That was my thing. I got like 2 athletic bones in my whole body, and they're my fingers to play video games. But when it came to the talking and you were there when I did that show down at the Kmart.
It's the creativity part of that.
Yeah, and that's what always hyped me up.
You knew that I traveled with Megan wherever she needed to go. Club softball, club volleyball. I mean, it was all over the place.
Yeah, it was great because when you guys left, I did wrestling matches you guys didn't know about.
But whenever possible, I showed up for your stuff. I mean, I went to Walmart. I remember that. I remember driving up there and seeing it in the parking lot.
It was me versus my buddy Nick, and it was a loser wears a dress match. We had mom's dress, and remember so the guys didn't like me and Nick because everybody hated me and loved Nick, but they didn't like that we were over with the crowd, and we were just high school kids.
You should say Nick took it to another level.
Yeah, Nick went and trained and everything. That's his story to tell. But so I remember that there was a Marine or something in the front row. And I will never forget this because this is when I knew I understood wrestling. I said to Nick, I'm going to go out and tell that Marine he's a coward and he doesn't mean anything to this country. And I said, in that moment, you will be the biggest good guy that this place has ever seen. And he said, dude, aren't you scared to do that? I said, not a bone in my body is scared to do that.
No, part of the
Yep. Yep. So I went out there, I did it, and they were, oh man, they were all over. And then I had handcuffed them, and I said, if you don't stop booing, I'm going to keep punching him. So it was so cool to just manipulate that crowd up and down. It's a high that I can't even describe.
It's politics today.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's all it
Find
is,
the
yeah.
emotion, and you bring it out of people.
Yeah.
You were okay with people hating you. You know who's okay with people hating you?
Donald Trump.
Republicans and Democrats.
Donald Trump is the only WWE.
It's the biggest distraction in the world.
Yeah.
If I can get you to hate me, everything I do outside of that,
Yeah.
it's unnoticed. This is the society we live in.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, I mean, look at Hulk Hogan came to the Democratic or the Republican convention and ripped his shirt off, and then, man, he got eaten alive when he was on Raw in California.
He doesn't care. That's part of the
Yeah.
program, you know? It's about attention.
So, yeah, that was awesome. And it was cool that you guys let us do that here, and because Nick's parents weren't allowed to have a trampoline. Although I think maybe to this day they probably were and just told us they weren't. And then we'd go to Garfield. I'd drive to Garfield every weekend. We'd wrestle. My girlfriends would be involved. It was cool.
So these DV tapes, I'm telling you that I bought this camcorder.
Yeah.
Picking up tomorrow. I'm thinking those are your tapes.
Yeah, there's got to be
You probably were the one who lost the camera.
Probably.
You freaking owe me
Well,
for that.
no, the camera broke. The camera broke. That's where you put the
Tell me
little.
that, so did you throw it in the garbage?
No, it broke when we were using it because we used it so much. You put the little tapes in the side of it, right, and closed
There were
it.
tiny tapes.
Yeah,
DV
like this
tapes
big,
were
yeah.
not common. You can't find them.
No, yeah, we got you were letting me use that camera because we were using Nick's 1991 VHS camera, and we were doing all this work, and then we'd miss filming it and stuff because the
So
camera
I
was so
bought this and
crappy.
Get it on DVD because I want my memories to live on. I want your memories
Yeah.
to live on.
TWF013 on YouTube if you want to watch me wrestle.
You see you don't see maybe later on.
Yeah, I'll film everything before I leave and put it on.
But in the theater, I've spent the last 2 months taking old films and converting them to DVD because the videotapes don't last. VHS, VHS-C, whatever.
You want to say hello?
And
Say hi.
I've been doing that a lot, and it's been amazing to sit down and watch you guys grow up on tape.
Yeah, it's
I
cool.
don't remember it, but
No, but it's cool to watch back, like, with you and Gigi and Papa and all my uncles and my aunts and in the backyard. And it's weird seeing you guys, like, smoke cigarettes just so... You'd be holding the baby, smoking a cigarette.
So we're sitting in a restaurant having, it was either Grant or Megan, I can't remember which one, but their first birthday or whatever it was, and everybody is smoking at their tables. That's going to freak people out today.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't happen.
Well, me and Brian were just talking about that. He said he went to Germany. And on my last podcast, he said he went to Germany, and he said it was weird to him because two things. You're allowed to drink in public, and you can conceal a gun in an airport. He said everybody was strapped in the airport. And I said before 9/11, it was that way here. If you watch Die Hard, John McClane had that gun, and the guy looked at it scared. He goes, I'm a New York officer. Don't worry about it. So that was kind of crazy.
I mean, the funny part is we would fly, like when your mom and I went on our honeymoon, we went to Hawaii.
Yeah.
That's 197 years.
Years ago. Yeah, it was not. That was a pretty long time ago.
But on the plane, in the armrest was an ashtray.
Yeah.
You can smoke on a plane that's
Yeah.
completely encapsulated.
That's crazy to me.
You could smoke while we were flying to Hawaii. I mean,
That's why so many people died of cancer.
yeah.
I always was the friend in the group that didn't smoke. And I always said that I'll be the one to die of cancer while they're all smoking around me.
You want to hear the funny part? The funny part is, at the time, smokers fought the fact that that was their right.
Yeah. Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not their right. That was horrible.
no, it's just like finding you deserve to drive.
I'm a smoker to this day. You guys have seen me light up a cigarette
Yeah.
sitting here, which is a horrible habit. Don't do it.
Yes. No, no cigarettes.
No example, but you know when you there's do we need to get into addiction?
No, we don't do that here.
But you know when you're addicted, it is what it is. But there are decisions made that infringe on what you feel is your right to protect other people.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you know, I wouldn't want people smoking around me now. I don't smoke. Like if I went to a restaurant or something and someone was smoking at the table across from me, I'd be annoyed. I'd be a little pissed
You
off.
think? Right?
Yeah, I'd be a little pissed off.
So they would have a smoking or non-smoking section.
Like it mattered,
The
yeah.
non-smoking section would be here. The smoking section would be here. It was so stupid.
Yeah.
So stupid.
But I mean, that's how times changed. Also, it's
And you know what? Thank God it did, because that
yeah.
that dude did not.
No, yeah. And now they won't even let people vape. I was just telling somebody the other day. I said, Jesus, I said I'd rather you vape around me than smoke a cigarette. At least it smells good.
Yeah.
At least the vaping smells all right.
I don't want to go there. I have very close friends to me to this day that do vape as an option to smoking, and they do sneak that vape out every chance they get.
Oh yeah.
But
To do the little.
I don't feel like the vape hurts anybody else.
It's more. It's not as. I feel like it's not as smoky as a cigarette is.
Well, it could be irritating. I don't want to, but you know, irritating is different from actually being a health.
Yeah.
I don't think it hurts anybody from a health standpoint.
So what? When we moved out here, what was your favorite thing about like the Nordonia area? Why'd we pick here?
Boy.
Why'd you pick here? I should say.
When I was a kid growing up,
I didn't get to pick. They got the house without me.
and even when we were older, when we were making that decision, we viewed this as farmland.
Oh,
Nordonia was
farmland.
It's not anymore.
I mean, it was. It was like.
This was the country. So when we drove through Bedford and into Macedonia, we were in the country.
Well, and it felt like it took so far to get here when I was a kid. Like I felt like because we would come.
Right?
Yeah, we'd come to Kohl's or Walmart or something, and it was like we're going we're going to Kohl's, we're going to Walmart,
Yeah.
and it was driving in. Now I can make it to Garfield in 15 minutes.
So when you look at it, Garfield Heights, Maple Heights, Bedford, that area, that general area, that's fairly close. I think those people are here now.
Yeah, it was.
And, you know,
That's
we
how it
did it
always
together.
happened. Yeah, that's how it always happens.
I think
It'll happen here too eventually too. It'll
we
move
were
into
raised
something
a
else.
certain way, and we raised you a certain way.
Yeah.
And our neighbors raised their kids a certain way.
Well, yeah, and you could trust your neighbor, and you could.
Call next door.
Yeah.
Right? We came from the same place, same time, same thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's got different kids, daughters, whatever. But you know what? They believe the same things I believe. I want to live next to somebody who believes the same things I believe.
Well, and
It's
I think
not a bad thing.
no, and I
It's
think
not.
that it's a testament to the area that. You know, I want to look for a house. I want to look for one here. People I went to school with stayed here. Their parents are still here. I think that's a testament as a city. Now, I don't know how much longer that's going to happen because it's no matter what city you're in, it eventually changes.
I can give you a lot of political reasons why we moved at that time.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in Garfield going on.
You have no idea.
Yeah, there's some
You have no idea.
some shit.
It's not only Garfield. I mean, housing market was crashing. I mean, crashing.
Yeah.
So we sold our house for a little 900-foot bungalow.
What's funny is I drove Brian past that house, and he's like, "Why would you move?" Because it had the pool, we had the tramp. I was telling him all we used to do there.
We did a lot of things.
But everybody was leaving. I wouldn't have had friends
We
at.
were
Yeah.
there 14 years. I don't regret one single second that I lived there.
Yeah.
When we moved out, the housing, this was coming out of Clinton, the housing market was crashing horribly. We sold our house for $119,000, I think. That was unheard of. but we got out just in time
Yeah, because didn't the neighbor sell it for not even close to
yeah,
that?
Bill probably sold for I don't know for sure.
And it went down after that down the street.
80 or 90, and it got worse. Then it was 30,
Yeah.
and then it was 40,000. I mean, I think we made a pretty good decision. But for me, I'm on the end of my business.
Yeah.
Is on the end of developing heating systems and things like that. That we watched what Garfield did, and it was.
Yeah, I forget what I was.
I said I'm done with this. I'm done. This school system and the people in charge, what's going on here, I don't want to be any part of. I want to leave. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell everybody, if you don't take care of your school system, you don't hold them accountable, you don't have a good school system.
Well, people want their kids to go to good schools.
Your home value is going to crash.
Yeah, so if you guys for like 2 years stop taking care of Nordonia schools, so I could buy a house, that'd be good. Then we go back to doing it.
What do I tell you? You rent. I tell Megan, I tell Karen the same thing, who does not want anything to do with higher taxes.
Yeah.
You have to take care of your school system.
And Nordonia is pretty good about that.
The state of Ohio will not take care of it. So you have to take care of it. You have to vote yes for the levies.
Well, I don't have to do anything I don't want to. It's America.
Well, I think
freedom.
You do too. Especially because you rent. It's only going to go back on your.
Well, yeah, but I want to buy a house.
Yeah. But, yeah, their apartments are worth more if the school system's good. If it's not, people don't move here.
Yeah, so either way, I'm paying more money. I'm fucked either way.
It's not about money. It's long term.
All right, well, you buy me a house and I'll vote for the levy.
All right, I'll buy you.
That seems fair to me. So, all right, let's put you on a spot. Which one of my friends were your favorite while I was growing up? Nick. Yeah, that was pretty easy to figure out.
Yeah, Nick, just great person.
Yeah.
Such a great kid. Tom, I like Tom.
Yeah, I don't know what he's up to.
A box of rocks sometimes. But,
yeah.
But he was, he's a good kid. You know what's funny? You should ask me the question.
Which one you don't like?
Yeah. Because, honestly, I think you make good choices.
Yeah, I had a good...
It's important because I don't remember one I didn't like.
Yeah, I think that's probably very true.
Can you remember one I might not have liked?
Billy was on the rocks for a while.
Yeah, Billy, I love Billy.
He was on the rocks. Well,
sometimes
he just wasn't very smart.
A box of rocks and fucking like I wanted to slap him in the head, but
he's the only kid that could smoke a joint outside and try to convince you it was a cigarette.
Well, there's a big difference for me. I don't always think it's about what they did, because kids are gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
They can be stupid and do dumb things. It doesn't mean morally. I love Billy.
Yeah.
I love Billy.
Yeah.
I love everybody connected to Billy.
Yeah, I think I think Megan probably had more worse friends than I did. I was pretty good at judging people, I think.
Oh, yeah. We wouldn't want me to start doing the same interview.
I think I was pretty good, but and whoever...
I can't think of anybody...
Whoever I usually became friends with, I stayed close with for quite a long period of time.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody with you that I just absolutely was like, oh my God, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
He's got to get away from this guy or girl.
Yeah.
Whoever.
I was pretty good, and all my friends were pretty loyal.
Yeah, no, I
think we were all,
I think you made good choices.
Yeah.
I don't think we'd have the same interview.
No, definitely not. Well, what was the dumbest thing I did as a kid? Up until, so we'll say senior year, maybe. I couldn't even think of it, I don't think. Sex before marriage. I knew it.
The funny part is you were not a problematic child.
No, I didn't really get in trouble. I grades and stuff. You got
in trouble and you caused us our stress. Right?
Well, I mean,
but it's not outside the norm. You know what I mean? Wow. Okay. Important.
I think.
You know what? By the way,
Be,
our bar has, I purposely put in 2 beers. One mild beer that I can drink pretty often. And then one IPA, which is a little stronger.
what is Founders?
Once in a while. This is Great Lakes Midwest IPA,
Oh,
which I had not had before. Really good. Like, I'm really impressed with it. Very good tasting, and it's not like 7%. It's only
it's 5.5. What's a normal beer? 3?
and
2?
I'm sitting here with my alcoholic son
What
pouring
is
a beer.
what
It
is
feels kind of weird.
is a normal beer 3 or is it 5? I can't even
I
remember.
think a normal beer like
3,
Coors Light, this
3, 2?
Coors Light is about 4%.
4. No way. It's like
But this is only like 5.5%.
I thought it was lower. I thought it was 3.32 or something.
Question. What was the question? The question was,
What's the worst thing? Maybe let's do worst or dumbest thing.
you did some dumb things.
I was never good at not getting caught. Was really my
You
downfall.
A testament to you is that it didn't pop right into my.
I know that's good stuff.
serious.
I can't really think of anything either. I didn't really I wasn't too over the top really. I didn't really know you could break the rules until later in life, and I always was late finding it out.
I think the aggravating part with you, as far as parenting goes or stuff like that, is that very, very argumentative.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Very, I'm always right, kind of.
yeah,
But as far as big mistakes, you know what they were. I don't have to go over them, but they weren't as a kid.
no, my
They
mistakes were as an
more
adult.
As an adult. I think as a kid,
I even think I had to the point where I had good friends that would, if we threw the party, that we snuck the party here and threw it, they were not the friends that would leave me with the mess. They would help me clean everything and cover for me.
you were good at that.
Yeah.
So that's not something I would bitch about.
Yeah.
So you were good at finding friends that were very protective.
Yeah.
And
Poor Nick.
Nick, Nick's one.
He took
Nick's
more
definitely one.
bullets than
He's not the only one, but he's one. I think you know what? Probably the raising you. It was trying to teach you things that you resisted. That was the hardest part.
I just didn't want to be told what to do.
You did not.
Even if it was right and I knew it was right, I didn't want to be told it.
So sometimes that sent me into a place where I would rather not be. But
Yeah, I think for some reason I always had a chip on my shoulder, I think.
no, you had a chip.
Yeah.
You had a chip.
And the only thing that got me out of that was wrestling. Like, I love just anything involving wrestling.
But it's funny you framed your question. Maybe you rehearsed it.
No, I was just thinking about it right now. No, I haven't said anything I rehearsed yet.
You really did frame the question good because
Well, I know what I did as an adult because the law tells me what I've done
you were
wrong.
asking me who I didn't like that was your friends and stuff like that. And you know what?
I didn't think about it, though. There is really
When it comes
nobody.
to that part of your life, you make good choices.
I
I
had.
kind of wish Mom would come down here.
Oh, she probably has
See
a
if
list.
agreed.
She probably has a.
Maybe not. Maybe the same realization would happen.
I think I probably could have done better in school. I didn't really give a shit about school. I didn't want to be
No,
there.
You could have done
Yeah.
better in school for sure.
I didn't want to be there. I wanted nothing to do with it.
What would have it got you? Well,
Probably nothing, because I'm still fucking great today, I feel like. Not great, like, not cocky, but, like, I
do
knew...
you want to go through your adult life?
No, but I knew
Is
then...
your adult life working for me? Because
No.
that might be a little bit different
But
than what we're talking
But I know then, I was like, half this shit I'm never going to use. And I'm 34 now, and half that shit I've never used.
Yeah, well,
I felt like there's a lot of...
you used more than you thought you did.
Yeah, I think there were things, and I get now as an adult, I didn't get then. School wasn't all about the learning. It was about growing as a person and growing into an adult in a safe environment that can protect you. I didn't get that then. But I think that's why I thrived so much my senior year, because I got to pick the classes I wanted to take. And I think if we went back and looked, my grades were probably the best they ever were my senior year of high school. Because I got to pick things I thought I would practically use in life.
I mean, it was like, I knew you weren't getting athletic scholarship.
No, God, no. The opposite. They would be like, please don't play athletics. Did I ever tell you the time I beat a teacher in a bet?
What?
So I bet my English teacher, I think it was senior year. It was for one of...
Can we invite Megan in?
Megan don't want to come in.
I just want you guys to try this. I don't want to be really either.
What is it?
It's called a dirty soda.
Is it alcoholic or?
Coke with creamer.
Oh.
You're not giving your brothers something right now.
It's good.
Yeah, but that's just Gigi and Ann June used to make those.
Come over.
I don't want
I want you to help me answer these questions.
I don't have
Grant's
any.
getting a little in depth.
It's about
Autism.
okay.
So let me ask you.
Yeah, but that
Good.
You want me to get into your shit a little bit?
no, because if we
You
do,
got into my shit.
yeah, but if we ask Megan and she says names, then we're gonna be in trouble.
No.
To know his
No.
names on.
Well, I mean, not no names, maybe.
I want to be careful. But,
Yeah, don't use last name.
But it's something to do with names. You're getting.
What's the worst thing I did in high school?
Oh my god.
Like bad.
You're gonna know more than me.
Like bad or
Like bad.
the dumb
You're gonna know
shit
more
you
than me.
did?
Both. We'll do both.
Well, the dumbest shit you did is when you went to go get in a fight and you brought a baseball
Oh fuck!
bat
I forgot about that.
and got your ass
I got beat up with my own
Yeah,
bat.
that's pretty dumb.
Fuck! That was a real.
That's pretty dumb.
That's what you get for watching wrestling.
By the way, he weighed about 110
Yeah.
pounds.
Well, and my buddy had my back until he didn't. He's like, he decided last minute he didn't want to fight.
And then the
Fuck,
other one
fucking Kevin.
that would piss me off is when you would go to scoreboards.
Yeah, but that wasn't when I was a kid.
Oh, that was when you were adult. When you were
Yeah.
a kid? Oh,
What did I do with scoreboards? So let's talk about that.
God. You would bring the whole house, everybody back to our house, and then go to bed, and then I'd have to deal with everybody.
Oh yeah, that was a one-time thing.
So
That was no long time ago.
No, that was a one-time thing.
No, that was not.
Yeah, it was
That
one.
was an all
That was an isolated incident.
I don't know.
So here's what I got for you guys. Why I got you.
No, I'm good.
You guys, the way you were raised, I think you definitely understood how important family was and how important it was to be close. I don't think it's easy to have a sister and a brother that are 3 years apart. I don't
No.
think that's
Especially
easy.
when one's
Yeah,
so cool.
you should have stopped. You should have stopped after one. I always say
One's an
that.
athlete.
No, you were an accident.
One is definitely an athlete. One definitely is a creative person. It's
Yeah.
totally two different things. Both appreciated from our standpoint. But the two of you together,
Oh, we have a visitor.
my take on this, and it's weird, Bear. My take on this is that no matter what Mom and I felt, you guys were actually pretty close. Like, you guys kind of had each other's back.
I have no
brothers
choice.
brothers and sisters, I think, are going to always have, big disagreements. But what I found in big moments is Megan defending you and you defending Megan.
Yeah, that had to suck when we both defended each other against you guys.
Oh, you did.
That had to be
all the time.
That had to be real bad.
But
Why?
for a brother and sister that are only about 2.5 years apart, I'd love to know that relationship, how exactly you felt about that.
I thought I had.
You had to
I just-
hate him sometimes,
I
but
did.
at other times you had to nobody's
I
fault.
had to clean up his messes.
Oh,
Yeah,
let's
pardon
talk,
us.
Let's talk about that.
Wait, I don't know what you mean.
I
I think we're running out of time here, guys. All right. Well, it was good having everybody. My
let's
tip,
talk about
my
that.
tip to you guys is,
That's awesome.
always. Excuse you.
hey, get down.
None for you. Oh, you want beer? We have another one in the family.
All right, get down.
Oh, can I not go by Dad? What is wrong with him?
Can you see him? Yeah, you can. Look at this dog up here. Well, Bear, how do you feel? How do you feel that Diesel passed and you replaced him?
What do you guys think about
Well,
our
he
dogs?
probably doesn't know because he never.
All right,
did it.
here.
Oh yeah,
Let's try
that's
this
right.
first
That's right.
before we do anything.
Oh, you can see my fat head.
Yeah, thank God.
That's beautiful.
Thank God.
Before we do anything, name all of our pets since you were born.
Oh God. Well, let's start with Tippy, who you killed.
Tippy? He did. He did. Tippy.
I got a fence built for us. It was for the greater good. That could have been a child.
Grant would have to start because
Tippy.
Toby was my first dog.
Well, Mandy
Hold on,
was
you guys,
Mandy was first.
Not me. I wasn't born.
You were.
Mandy, Tippy, Toby,
Lucky.
Lucky.
Bear.
Hold on.
Who the fuck was the other one? What's his name?
Lucky, Bruno. We had Bruno and Lucky together. Then Lucky died. We got Snickers and Bruno. Then Bruno died.
No, it was Snickers and Lucky. Bruno.
Yeah.
Never.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dad was
Yeah. Then it was Lucky. Then Lucky died. Then it was Snickers. Then I got Diesel.
Oh, the baby.
And it was Diesel and Snickers
Baby.
when Diesel lived here. And now it's Diesel passed away and Snickers got super depressed, so we had to get Bear.
We had to.
And Bear was a giant. Is a giant.
I feel like he's not that much bigger than Bruno. It's
pretty big.
It's you know what though, we got Bruno when Bruno was later in life.
Yeah, so he
Who
was
was
in
our
his wild.
first male dog?
Bruno.
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 Yeah, Bruno.
And did we ever have a female after Bruno?
No.
Lucky.
Male dogs.
was-
Oh yeah, Lucky was female.
Lucky was female.
Lucky didn't come after Bruno. Lucky
No, yeah, because Christina found Bruno, right?
No, Mom did.
Or did Mom?
Mom and Grandma.
She called him up. He called
Yeah.
him mom's car.
Because I remember him being tied up in Garfield.
We never had a male dog, and all of a sudden I'm like, wow,
Wait, we
male
had
dogs
we had
are cool.
did we have Bruno in Garfield?
No, it was here.
It was here.
Here. Then he was in the garage. I remember him being in the garage or something where we weren't sure. We didn't want him inside because we weren't going to keep.
Inside of the road.
Yeah, but Mom did not want us.
And the dog crawled her
Yeah, and we didn't want to. He wasn't a dog we were keeping. We were not keeping him.
That's what Mom
Just like we weren't getting Bear.
Yeah.
Somehow
Hi.
we
But,
always
you
did.
know, what's interesting is we've never had a female dog after Bruno.
That's true.
We've only had male dogs.
Well, Lucky was first.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
but I don't
Lucky
think
was
that was
female.
intentional.
Lucky was female.
Yeah. So after Lucky, we haven't had another
Why
dog.
do you look confused?
Well,
Do you freaking think
Yes,
Lucky
we
was
got-
a male?
yeah, Bear came or Bruno came
Yeah,
after.
so after Lucky, we never had
Yeah,
a dog.
you have me confused. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
never, after Bruno, I said, wow. Yeah, I was opposed to male dogs to lift to their leg or whatever.
Yeah, they don't do that all that often. Although,
But
yeah, no, not really.
but we were like, wow, male dogs are the most dedicated dogs.
Yeah.
They're so dedicated to the people that own them.
Diesel would have killed somebody for
Oh,
me.
see, I loved it. Remember when I would come to your house?
Yeah, and steal them.
You'd be at the bar.
So let me ask you guys this.
Megan, stop stealing my dog.
Since you decided to interview your father for this tip that's
Oh,
Yeah, tip to tip.
I leave this earth. What do I leave here with? One son and one daughter.
Mom.
Well, you're right by me a house, so
Let's
I got it on video
let's
evidence.
presume that
buying us?
it's
Dad's buying me a
me
house.
and
Nice.
Mom are gone.
All right, so you guys were in a house
I'm gonna
fire.
leave you guys.
Was it a car accident or a house fire?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about
Well, if there's a house fire, there's not going to be anything in the house.
No, I want to know
You leave us.
values. Okay.
This
so
is-
nothing
yes,
else. What
this is good.
values do I
This
leave
is a
you?
good way to end it.
You
What do
leave a
I
hole in my
leave the
heart.
two of you?
This is
Hole in my
this is
heart.
a good way to
Okay,
end
so,
it.
You know what? That touches me. I'm glad.
You leave me
What do I
with.
leave-
I'm glad you have a hole in
What
your
is
heart.
your dedication to your brother? What is your brother's dedication to you?
All right, now I feel like we got
What
off
did you
task from my
learn from
answer.
us that you will transfer to your kids
Oh,
one day,
don't
Yeah, that's
or
so stressful.
or whatever.
don't shit where you eat.
Palm suck.
That is one thing.
Don't shit where you eat.
Said.
Don't cry or I'll give you something to cry about.
Can't bullshit a bullshit.
Can't bullshit a bullshitter. And basically just that all you gotta do is be a decent person and everything will work
Your
out.
reputation.
How do you
Yeah.
feel about your sister? Because this is
Oh,
Yeah, Gran, how do you feel
This
about
is
your
pretty
sister?
important to
this is
me.
getting a little,
Your baby sister.
getting a
Listen,
little out of
You
sorts
guys
here.
may not think this is a big deal, but
Because
it's
Grant
a
will
big
be the
deal
man
to
of the
me.
house.
One
There
of the
won't be a
reasons
house.
I don't want to leave the earth is to make sure that
What?
I left you guys in a place.
Well, yeah,
where
we're good.
Family's important.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
choice.
So what's
Yeah.
gonna happen?
We're gonna be stuck with each other.
So, what is the one thing you would say to Megan
Jesus.
that would make a difference, or Megan, you would say to Grant that would make a difference?
I would just say we
And
know.
how you'd move forward without us.
I would just say we
I
know.
wouldn't. I'm going in the grave.
Okay. I would just say
Well,
we
that's
know.
not true.
Okay.
You'll have to. So,
I would just say we were raised to know what to do, and we just got to do it one day at a time.
Yeah.
what is that?
What?
Grant would have to lead the way.
What is that?
Well, we just got to be the best people we can be and put positivity into the world. We got to be. If I make somebody smile, then I did something good.
So, as a parent, totally normal.
I feel like you can't not like my answer.
I don't have any.
No, I
I'm
don't.
stressed.
I feel like it was a cop out.
Well, what do you want me to say?
I need time to think if I answer.
Listen to what I'm saying.
This is your
As a
idea.
parent,
This is a little.
if I leave,
Still better than
or
politics.
Mom leaves, and we're done,
Okay.
who will take care of you? We view it
We
as
got to take care of ourselves.
you need to take care of your sister. Your sister
Yeah,
needs
Grant's
to take
gonna.
care of you.
No, Grant's gonna have to take care of me.
So what does that look like?
Boil water.
I'm fucking.
What does
done.
that look? What's your dream? Do you see yourself? I mean, is your dream to have?
House. Right now, that's my dream.
Let's say it's this house.
It's
Oh, God, no.
no.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's not
no.
my house.
You pay it off.
It's
first,
way too.
then I'll
It's
take
way
it.
too big. I'm not cutting all this fucking grass.
So
Yeah, that's true.
Fuck that.
So if we were to do that, my question is, do you see it important to get together? At least the two of you. The rest of the family is important to me. But
Well, yeah.
the two
Well,
of you,
yeah.
for Christmas and Easter and
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't be losers alone.
Right.
You have to stay.
We're not having kids anytime soon.
Yeah, we're fucked if not.
so you own your own house. You own your own house.
Yeah, we'll still get together.
And Easter comes, and that's a minor,
Yeah,
right?
we don't have anything.
Yeah, I don't understand this question.
Are you inviting each other over?
Yeah.
Well, if I invite her and she invites me and I show up at her house and she shows up at my house, we won't be together.
Most likely, I'm gonna have to make.
Yeah, we're gonna hang out. We hang out now.
I have to make Grant an Easter basket.
This is what parents worry about. You know, you got a podcast, right?
Yeah.
So you want parents my age to look at it. I'm telling you, that's what parents worry about. Are you going to invite Megan?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Is
I-
it important? Is
I
it
think
number
it's-
one priority?
I think it should just speak volumes. I've never even had to think about that because I just know.
Yeah, it's not a thought.
Yeah, it just would be what it
You
is.
and Grant and Mom are close enough where it's not yet.
Yeah, like if you guys.
There's not really a plan. We
Although
just
who
all
would-
kind of go with it.
Yeah.
But will it happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanna
Why
test
would
the
Mom and
waters?
Why would Mom and I believe that?
I mean, because Megan just came over to help me organize my
No,
apartment.
Whenever you're together, you want to kill each other.
Well, yeah.
So much.
No, as long as she doesn't talk, we're usually pretty good.
So you know, I mean, our biggest worry is
She just came over 2 Sundays ago to help me organize after I got my couch. We didn't fight at all.
If Grant, yeah, Grant will have to guide in the money and all that train, but I can do Mom's jobs, the presents, the organizing,
Yeah, I'll just
all
cook.
that girl stuff.
Yeah,
Other than that,
I'll just cook.
there's a future.
oh, you might have to cook, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Grant's gonna-
Yeah.
So, the one thing that I think personally I worry about is that people forget about how important family is.
So I think what you're
Not
trying.
us, Dad.
Yeah.
Not us. What is
And,
this?
and I want
It's a microphone.
I want to think that I raised you guys to understand that of all other things, no matter how many problems, and Grant, you've had plenty. Megan, why are you laughing? You've had plenty.
Who has had more?
It doesn't matter who is. We've had plenty. Here's the thing.
Shut up.
No matter what goes on, at the end of the day, I don't care when it happened. Easter, Christmas, these things are coming.
Yeah.
These are the reasons we live.
I think I learned my truest family value when I watched The Godfather. That was it for me, I think.
Godfather.
You never watched The Godfather?
No. Fun fact.
You wouldn't even like it, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
It's a shame.
What do you think of my basement?
I love it if you spent time down here.
Oh, shots fired!
I'm here.
All right, well, I think we're going to wrap this up. I think what we gathered from this podcast is that family is important, and it doesn't matter what gender you are as long as you're not a douchebag.